I was planning to become a chemist. My high school homeroom teacher, Charles Gooding, was the school's chemistry teacher. He more or less adopted me during the 3 years of my homeroom stay with him. His influence on me extended to my undergraduate career at the University of Illinois, where I was graduated with highest honors in chemistry in 1943. After my graduation, I spent the next 41 months in the Army of the United States, first as a sergeant and then after officer candidate school as a lieutenant. Throughout most of my Army career, I planned to return at the end of World War II to the University of Illinois to pursue a PhD degree in physical chemistry. My first professor of organic chemistry was a neighbor of mine in Urbana, Illinois. His house and my parents' house backed up to the same property line. His name was Charles C. Price III, and he did a number of interesting things in the course of his life, including frightening me out of a career as a chemist, all because I was too ignorant to understand what he was doing. Toward the end of my military career, I was stationed in the Japanese city of Osaka. As a member of the U.S. Army of Occupation, I had a friend who was stationed in Tokyo. Like myself, he had been a student of chemistry before he entered the Army. Osaka and Tokyo are connected by a rail line which had an overnight train in each direction. So I decided to visit my friend. When I got to his office in the Tokyo Central Post Office, I saw that lying on his desk was a copy of the program of the meeting of the American Chemical Society, which had been held in Atlantic City, New Jersey, in March 1946. I asked him if I might thumb through the program to see what our brothers in chemistry were up to in our absence. And there I saw that my friend, professor, and neighbor C.C. Price had given a report entitled The Synthesis of Force-Substituted Aminoquinolines. As a wartime graduate student of the University of Illinois Chemistry Department, I should have known what force-substituted aminoquinolines are and what their importance might be. During World War II, malaria was a problem to our troops in the South Pacific Theater. And force-substituted aminoquinolines were some of the most promising of the anti-malarial drugs. But I was completely ignorant of these facts. So my reaction to seeing the title of Professor Price's paper was, "If the best organic chemist I know is fooling around with things like that, chemistry is not for me." And with that conclusion, my career plan blew sky high. Within 5 minutes, my mind had cleared, and I decided I wanted to be either a minister or a psychiatrist. On the train back to Osaka that night, I decided that I really would not make a very good minister because I have a dirty mind. Therefore, I permanently abandoned that option and made plans to go to medical school so that I could study psychiatry. About halfway through medical school, I became disenchanted with psychiatry, and I entered a period of a couple of years when I had no idea where I would end up. But I completed the medical school curriculum nevertheless. By that time, I was in the clutches of Dr. Carl C. Pfeiffer, although I did not know it at the time. Carl Pfeiffer had a mission. He was the chairman of the University of Illinois Medical School Department of Pharmacology for the 8 years between 1946 and 1954. During that time, he appointed 21 regular medical students to work in his department during their summer vacations. Of those 21 students who had enrolled in medical school in order to practice medicine, 10 of us, myself included, ended up in careers in academic medicine, mostly as professors of pharmacology. Carl Pfeiffer was a splendid recruiter. Pfeiffer's time was very good. During the years around 1950, the U.S. government enormously increased the amount of money available for medical science research. This had the effect of suddenly increasing the size of medical school departments of pharmacology and others. Before World War II, such a department might have 3 or 4 faculty members. By the end of the 1950s, departments with 15 or 20 faculty members were not uncommon. New jobs were opening up for the people whom Carl Pfeiffer proselytized. My pathway to Carl Pfeiffer was far from direct. It began with Dr. Elmer Becker, my biological chemistry instructor in my first year of medical school. While I was writing my final examination in that course, Becker came over to me and whispered, "When you are finished with the exam, come and see me." I did not know Elmer very well at that time, and I had no idea what I had done to attract his attention. When I met with him after the exam, he said, "During your summer vacation, would you like to work for me?" Vicki and I were planning to get married as soon as that semester was over, so I thought that I had better tell her. She asked, "Will you get paid?" Elmer and I had not discussed money, and he had no immediate answer to her question. Dr. Becker went to his boss, the chairman of biochemistry, and was told that their department had no funds for medical student stipends. The biochem chairman suggested that Elmer might go upstairs and ask for help from Carl Pfeiffer, the pharmacology chairman. Dr. Pfeiffer told Dr. Becker that the pharmacology department could pay me $125 per month for 3 months to work for Becker downstairs in biological chemistry. I did not meet Dr. Pfeiffer until much later. The biochemistry department managed to give me graduate school credit for my summer's work with Elmer, perhaps to offset the meagerness of the stipend I would be receiving. I ended up working for Elmer Becker for 3 summers that I was a medical student. In addition to an MD degree, the university gave me a Master of Science degree in pharmacology, even though I had no specific pharmacological instruction beyond the standard sophomore course that all second-year medical students take. At the graduation ceremony in 1951, I was awarded both degrees, and I got to shake twice the hand of the distinguished commencement speaker, Adlai Stevenson.